Blake Robison out of Melbourne, the senior runner-up today in the Cape Coast Conference meet. Blake, you know, we had a chance to see a race last weekend down at Sebastian River. Finished up really strong. If you can, kind of take us through the week leading up to Cape Coast Conference today.
Yes, sir. All right. I always tell my team and tell myself that just the health is probably the most important thing, and sleep and what you eat and what you take in and hydration all affect your race. And I always say that running is simple, but it's also complicated, and that every little intricate thing you do affects your race, affects your running. And clearly, as this week leading up to conference, I wanted to do my workouts the best that I could, and to get all those just the little things that become big things is getting the 8 hours of sleep and taking care of that, because your sleep affects your running and your body and also your mind. And so all of that was important to me. Didn't necessarily do as just assessing myself and assessing what I did over the week after the race, just relating that to how I felt. I wish I would have taken care of myself a little bit better, but I am very happy with how I did.
What a great battle up front. You know, I love nothing more than seeing about 10 guys come through the mile, and that pack still together for the most part, passing the two. And then it's just, you know, battle towards the end. You know, I had a chance to talk to Taylor Hickey a little while ago, and he said, man, I've never been so nervous in my life before this race. And I asked him why, and he said, basically, you know, I knew that Blake was going to be in there. It's going to be a battle with a bunch of other guys, and so he had some butterflies going into the race. Would you say you've had some as well, or?
Yes, sir, I definitely did. I mean, honestly, before races, I really try to take my mind off the race, which might sound odd, but I really try to just think about it as just another run. And clearly my thoughts have been about Taylor Hickey, just like his about mine, and hoping to be able to know that it was him, and hoping to be able to give it my best at the end. I don't know if he said it, but I am so excited to have that kind of pushing at the end of a race, because of like you said at Sebastian River, how I had finished strong and had a strong kick, and it was nice to have someone to battle that out with, just to push myself to the limit. And conference wouldn't have been the same without him, and he deserves it so much, and I'm just again thankful that I had someone to be there, and I know that he said the same to me, and so it's cool to be able to not only know that you're running against a good runner, but a good person as well.
Yeah. Well, kind of take us through the race a little bit. Obviously, the pack stayed together. Tell us how it played out in your mind. What did you see out there on the course, and you know, from your perspective?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that many people to be up front. I was expecting about 4 guys, to include myself and Hickey, and then a couple of other guys. So it was interesting to have a bigger pack for the majority of the race. And I was actually expecting us to start out a little bit slower. We went 5:15, which isn't a bad pace. But as I went out at Sebastian River, I went about 5:25 with my team as a pack, just to kind of change up the race a little bit. So it was interesting going faster and feeling the slow down a little bit after the second mile too. And then just going through, obviously it's raining, and that brings about PRs in my mind most of the time, and the dips here are just so different. Just I guess it's an interesting course. I mean, I like it, but at the same time I don't. It's kind of both ways with this Chain of Lakes course. But as I said, we were strong together, and at the 2 mile, I could feel myself and Hickey kind of already start to battle a little bit to take the lead, to switch up and kind of just play around with the pack and surging and such. And then as we took it together, I mean, it was a fight, and it was exciting, it was fun. To me, of course winning is important, but giving it our all is more than that. And definitely when I came to the end, I felt in my body just kind of, I could just feel the wear and tear of the entire race, and pushing it with him. When I think we dropped it about the half mile before the finish, the 2.5 is when we really dropped the pace, and then we started picking it up. And then right when we came around the inside of the course, we were both switching up the lead and picking up, and then he finished out, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm proud of myself too, just for giving all that I had.
Yeah, that's all you can do, man. You left it out on the course, both of you guys, and you know, if it's any consequence, Taylor pretty much said the same thing. So, let me ask you this: would you have changed anything in the race? Forget about the preparation leading into it, but tactics in the race. Would you have changed anything?
I probably would have started out slower, just a little bit, and try to pick up the pace and kind of maintain it throughout the race. Instead, I could feel just a little bit of a slowdown between the 1 and 2, and that probably would have actually I think brought my time down a little bit slower. And obviously, time isn't everything, but I try, even though it's hard being a competitive sport, to compete against myself, and so it would have been nice to drop the time a little bit more. And then also, there was definitely a kind of, not playing around, but toying around with the speed of the race, of someone taking the front and then switching back and then speeding up and then slowing down. I probably would have tried to hold the steadiness a little bit more and just try to mix in. But I mean, once the race is done, I mean, and in life you have to make choices and not look back, because you can't change the past. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy with what occurred, even though it's not necessarily what I wanted. I have to be content in every situation. So.
Well, from my perspective, man, you laid it out on the course, and that's all you can do. And what a great battle. Great way to finish up your senior year at the Cape Coast Conference with a runner-up title. So, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Corey, say you. Blake Robison now to the lead. Cocoa Beach coming on by. A couple of Melbourne guys up there at Cocoa Beach. 14:25 in. This pack is broken up just past the 2-mile mark. Blake Robison into the lead. We know he's got a solid kick. Taylor Hickey in second.
You got company. You two got to go. Go to the arm.
And in third, out of the era. It's going to be a battle all the way to the end. Taylor Hickey getting instructions from one of the greats, his dad, in Brevard, that he had to go early. Taylor Hickey's going to be the Cape Coast Conference champion. Opening it up the last 800, right around 16:21. Blake Robison out of Melbourne with a valiant effort right around 16:27.